Hey everyone, Synthetic Future here, and today I want to talk a little bit about SoundToys Effect Rack, an effect I already featured in some other videos. This is going to be a little bit of a whisper style video due to my girlfriend sleeping next door, but I really wanted to put this video out because there's still a big sale going on Effect Rack, and it would be a shame if you missed that sale. So before I start to talk a lot about this plugin, I wanted to show just a little bit of it. And this first little bit will be demoed with the Mini V by Arturia with all the effects off. So that should give us a nice dry signal. And as a MIDI controller, I'm using this System 1 right now, which doesn't have any sensitivity. But it's not really required for this demo. So let's just dive in a little bit. Let's make some sounds, and then will be right back with you to talk a little bit about this plugin and the reasons I think, especially at this price, it's a really good value and something you shouldn't miss. So yeah, that's a pretty wide palette of sounds considering our basic sound without effects is indeed very, very basic. Once you start applying SoundToys effects, you can get a whole range of extra effects and sounds out of even these basic patches, which is really, really nice. So let's just quickly cover what this package is exactly. And I'm going to have to grab my cheat sheet for a second. That's not my cheat sheet. This is my cheat sheet. There we go. So Effect Racks is basically 14 essential SoundToys effects plugins which run into one singular interface. And I just bumped my mic stand, so I hope that wasn't too annoying. In essence, this results into you owning all the full-sized effects that are currently offered by SoundToys. The only things you are missing are the little versions of all the effects, which are essentially dressed down versions of the full effects. And you are missing the little alter boy, which is a pitch and formant shifting thing, and the little plate, which is just a plate reverb. Well, probably people going to be mad that I'm saying it's just a plate reverb. It's probably the best plate reverb ever made or something, but that's what it boils down to. So essentially you're getting everything that SoundToys is offering right now for $99, which is an incredibly good deal. So let's rewind a little bit. So I talked about what it is. I've showed you some sounds with the help of the Mini-V. I used to be on the side of people thinking that most of the SoundToys things are a little bit basic, pretty much. Every time I saw their plugins on my Insta feed or in videos, I always felt that they were fairly basic plugins, which didn't exactly catch my eye that much, because I'm someone that sort of likes the sort of weird, very versatile, very open-ended plugins, like for instance the unfiltered audio stuff, Biome, Triad, Lion, these really wild things where you can modulate everything with everything and do stupid things that most of the time sound pretty janky and weird, but still it's a lot of fun to work with, and there are literally endless possibilities. And with these plugins you're seeing right here on the screen, I always felt a little bit like they were not that open-ended and maybe a little bit confining in their capabilities. So a little while back, right at the start of the COVID thing, which is still going pretty strong, sadly, they offered 1 month of free use of the Effect Rack. They called it the Rack Relief program, and you got to use the Effect Rack for 1 month straight, free of charge. So obviously this was the perfect time to grab the Effect Rack to see what SoundToys is all about. After all, that's a nice long trial, and I figured that if you subscribed to that effort, you probably could get a discount out of it. So that was a benefit for everyone, I would say. So I jumped onto the opportunity to grab the Effect Rack. The result of that you can find in my YouTube video feed. That's 2 40-minute videos of me playing with Effect Rack through my D50 synthesizer. And it was right about that point where I thought, okay, there's more to this, and there's a good reason why a lot of people say this is one of those must-have things, because just to summarize it, there is a huge sweet spot in all of these plugins. It takes really, really little effort to get an effect out of it which sounds pleasing. And I think that's the power of the SoundToys, and especially the Effect Rack, as you have all the effects in one singular place, and you can stack them really easy. Also nice to note, if you just want to use it for one effect, you don't need this entire thing. You can just pop it to small. There you go. Nice and small. For now, let's just keep it here. But you have one simple drag and drop interface, and you can quite quickly chain things together. So for instance, if you are working on a sound, and I'm going to use this sound as an example. So here it is, just try. And you might think I want a delay on it. Now we're just going to keep it very simple. So we're going to pop in the echo boy. There we go. Now we have a delay. So we can change the delay time. We can add a little bit of feedback. A little bit wet. Always good. Let's make it about there. That sounds about right. So now we have this going. We can crank a little bit of extra feeling into it. And that's already pretty fun. So from here you might think, okay, that's pretty okay. I might want to gritty it up a little bit. Decapitator in, drive it a bit. Drive it quite a bit. And from this point on, you might think, okay, it's all going pretty well. Why not just try something like a reverb behind it? Now, there is no dedicated reverb, but luckily, Echo Boy is pretty flexible and makes for a pretty good reverb. So we can just jump in, throw in another Echo Boy. Let's go for something which is probably pretty stupid. This sounds pretty stupid. It's a little bit high for this sort of thing, so let's dial down. That's a little bit low. And that's sort of the power of this system. It's just, it is quick to work with. And there are a lot of effects in here. So you have your delays, several types of delays. My personal favorite is the crystallizer, which does some slicing and reversing, and you can pitch shift and do all sorts of weird stuff. Your kind of bit crusher saturation stuff. Multiple delays. The back is really delay heavy, so Echo Boy. This is the Echo Boy Junior slimmed down version. You also get the primal tab. Oh. Well, there is a limit to how much you can jam in here, which we'll get back. There's pretty cool EQ. More saturation stuff. So there's all your basic tools are right here in this one box, and that's really nice to have. So every time you're playing around with a sound and you're like, oh, this is good, but it could use a little something, just a little something. That's always where I grab the SoundToys plugins, just because it's a quick workflow. It's a quick fix. And just to hammer in that point a little bit, I'm going to switch to the System 1. Let's get a little bit more of a polyphony thing going with sound, and let's actually get the crystallizer and some stuff in here. So just a second. All right, a minor change of plans. I didn't feel like messing up the settings I have right now because I still need them for a song. So I decided to shift to the Arturia OBXA, and I found this nice little pad sound, which I rid of all the effects. So this is just the OBXA without effects, and we'll be using that for a little bit more of a sound demo, just because we can, and that's after that some parting words. So here we go. So yeah, that's some more sounds from the SoundToys Effect Rack. Now I would highly recommend anyone that sees this in time to definitely check out the demo of the SoundToys Effect Rack, just to see for yourself and hear for yourself if this is the sort of effects units you are after. They are fairly stylized, so I can definitely see some people being more into this than other people. Then again, I myself was a big skeptic about these plugins, and just after throwing some of these, even the presets, they are very decent. Just throwing these onto some sounds I've used a lot, I could instantly see the appeal of these plugins. And aside from what you get straight away, they often release new plugins, or not plugins, they often release new preset packs. So if you follow them around on socials like Instagram, you can often grab some free presets. And there's a pretty big community as well where you can find more presets for these plugins, which is pretty awesome. So for 99 bucks, I mean, it's still a considerable amount of money, don't get me wrong. But I think if you are looking for a very complete set of effects, this is definitely something that will do a lot for you and can help your sound a lot. If, of course, this is the kind of sounds you are after, that's important to note. So that's why I say demo it, try it for yourself. And yeah, I hope you found this video somewhat helpful in trying to make a decision, or at least entertaining. And for now, I'm going to wish you a great day and stay safe.